Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. That day you were telling that prayers are a very powerful medium to connect with God. So are prayers that powerful, or means why are they so important in every religion?
Yeah, it's a good question, because every religion, whether Christianity, Islam or Hinduism, even atheistic religions, Buddhism, everybody pays or gives a lot of importance to prayers.
Exactly.
A lot of importance. Buddhists, they pray to their bodhisattvas. They don't have a conception of God, but they pray to Buddha and bodhisattvas like that. So, in that sense, prayers are very important in every religion. The question is why?
Yeah.
Now, you see the point. All religions, at least theistic religions, their aim is to unite with God. So for that they recommend spiritual practices. But spiritual practices in themselves can lead you to a certain point.
Okay.
After that, your efforts and your will cannot take you beyond that point, because that's beyond human realm. So after that you need grace.
Okay.
And that grace can be achieved only by prayers. You have to pray to have that grace. So prayers, that's why, are a very important role. In fact, many philosophers, many religious saints, they say our spiritual practices, the role of spiritual practices is not that much as the role of prayers is there in uniting with God. So that's why some traditions, they include prayers in their spiritual practices as a part of practice.
Okay. So are these two means include prayers in their spiritual practice? That means these are two different paths altogether.
You see, spiritual practice generally people refer to spiritual practice as following some rules and regulations which are set up by probably by institution or by religious law books.
What we say as sadhana.
Yes, sadhana. What we say, getting up in the morning, offering food, chanting and all these things.
Okay.
But besides these, then you have to pray. Like prayer is not a procedure.
Yeah.
A prayer, we don't use when we say is prayers necessary, it's not like a procedure that we sit and pray for some time. That's not the point there.
Okay.
The point is you have to pray every second in your heart.
Okay.
So prayer is generally connected to mood behind the spiritual practices.
Okay.
So that's why that's a little difference. So because any person can do spiritual practice like a ritual and a mechanical process. But when a person is following the rules and regulations of the institution of the religious law, with that in his heart, he has to keep on praying, Krishna or God or Krishna, Hinduism or Allah, whatever, please accept my practice. You see, so that's one prayer.
Okay.
So that is mood and that is practice. So in that sense, we differentiate.
So that brings us to another question. That means you want to say that prayers, that there is no language of prayers.
No, there is language of prayers. Mood has a language.
Okay.
But it's not a ritualistic formula in that sense. Like, so you have to pray in the morning and the evening. That's not the sense we are saying prayers. We are saying there is a language, but that language is so that is in your heart. Like 24 hours you have to pray. It should not be, prayer should not be done as a ritualistic formula. That's the whole point.
I think you want to say like the crying of the heart.
Yeah, like that.
So it's not a language, but it has to be expressed.
Yeah, it has to be expressed, crying of the heart in words.
Oh, that is a good point. And like you were just telling that some theistic people, means at least theistic people, they all pray to God. So what about like atheists? Like they also believe in something supreme, but they do not believe in God. But they also pray.
Yeah, they pray to the saints.
So are both the things, will both the things work same in the same manner? Because one is has belief in God, other doesn't has belief in God, but still.
No, well, for atheistic people, prayers have no meaning.
Okay.
Because for atheistic religions,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
people's.
Atheistic.
The prayers have no meaning because they don't, because for them there is no God who is reciprocating. They're just saints whom they are praying. So for them, they say prayers help us to keep us inspired. That's all. There is no reciprocation. It's you're just praying, and it keeps your mood elevated and keeps you inspired and makes you remember about your goal of life. That's all. That's their understanding.
So maybe they are connecting themselves to the moral conduct of life rather than connecting to the person.
Yeah, in their system, prayers have no meaning. That's all.
Oh, okay. And if we say that the prayers are answered, is there a truth behind this, that only the prayers of a righteous man is answered?
Yes. Only a righteous man's prayers is answered. Everybody's prayer is not answered. People assume my prayers will be answered, but that's an assumption.
Okay.
There are qualifications for prayers to be heard by God, to be accepted by God. And then there are signs and symptoms whether our prayers are being heard by God. It's a science, so that's why we need to understand what prayers are to be done, how prayers work. It's a different chapter in religion, atheistic religions.
And one last question, and that is also very pertinent to the topic. Why are prayers unanswered most of the times?
Prayers are never unanswered.
Oh, is it like that?
But they might remain unanswered if you don't have qualifications to, so if you're not pure, if you're hypocrite,
okay,
if you have vile intentions, wrong intentions, then they will not be answered. But if you're not hypocrite, if you're sincere devotee, maybe weak but sincere, in that case each and every prayer will be answered. God never lets prayers unanswered for His sincere devotees.
Okay. It might seem.
But how they will be answered, that is a thing.
Yeah.
It might not be, your prayers might not be answered in the way you want.
Okay.
Might be answered in a different way, in which you will not even understand that it is being answered. That's my whole point.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it is being answered, provided you are sincere.
We have to decode the language.
Either you have to decode if you can, or wait and watch.
That is the means.
Then it might seem my prayers. It might take some time for you to understand that they were answered right from the moment you were praying. It might take some time for you to understand.
Yeah, I think that is the most important part for a person who has a belief in God.
You're right.
Thank you very much for this elaborate explanation. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada.